Hi everyone, it's Elisa, and I wanted to share with you today a short video on breath body practice. So if you're not already doing your breath body practice in the morning, here are a few ideas that you can try. And what I really invite you to do is maybe put on some fun music or even just some relaxing music, whatever music you need in the morning, and it might be different from day to day. And what I'm going to do is go through what I do for breath body practice. So normally in the morning, I get up, I go to the bathroom, I scrape my tongue, and I actually usually do my breath body practice while I'm waiting for my water to heat. I have an electric kettle, so we'll start the water in there, and while it's going, I do my breath body practice. And I'll do this every day, even if I'm going out for a run, even if I'm doing another workout later. This is something that I do to start my day so that way I can really get my body moving, get my circulation going, get the lymph moving. And remembering when we go to sleep at night or when we're sleeping at night, we're really pretty still. Even if we toss and turn from time to time, our bodies are really still and everything kind of just lays there. You get kind of stagnant. Your blood and everything is just in one place. And when you wake up, that might be why you feel a little stiff and achy. You need to get things moving and do your stretching to get your body to start feeling alive and awake. And that really is the purpose of doing breath body practice, because we're starting to twist and turn and get our circulation going, start to wake up the muscles, start to move the lymph throughout the body. And really stagnation can actually lead to, in some schools of thought, stagnation leads to disease. So we want to keep our bodies moving, keep our muscles hydrated, keep our fascia hydrated, move the blood, move the lymph. And so we're going to do all of that right now. So what I like to do, and you could do this too, is I usually set my alarm for 10 minutes or so, however much time I have. And what I'd also suggest for you is to maybe put on some fun music, something that gets you feeling alive and awake for the morning. And if you're feeling really sleepy, maybe start off with something a little more mellow and maybe have a playlist that it builds a little bit. But choose something that feels good for you on whatever day that it is. So it might change from day to day. But again, I'm going to start my alarm for 10 minutes, and I'm going to hit that start button. And I'm going to start on my back, and that's the way we're going to start for today. So maybe rolling out a yoga mat or just finding a comfortable place. Maybe you have some cushioning or some carpet on the floor. And we'll start on our backs. So lying down. And what I like to do is just start first either by bending my knees. You can have your feet flat on the ground and just noticing how that feels. So we're going to start really kind of easy. But then bringing knees into the chest, and I like to do some knee circles. You can hold on behind your thighs, going, several times in one direction, and then several times in the other direction. We always want to go in both directions. And this is really good for the fascia that we have on the back of our bodies. Now, we have fascia all throughout the body, but this starts to create some circulation in there, and you might even feel a nice little sensation of a massage from the earth. And then after you're feeling good with that, we'll bring our feet down to the floor, knees bent, and we'll just take some windshield wipers, really easy windshield wipers from one side to the other. You'll notice this is almost like a little bit of a twist, and only going as far as feels good to you. So you're not needing to bring the knees down to the floor. We're just starting to wake things up a little bit. And bringing our knees back to center, we're going to add in a little bit of a pelvic tilt. So we're going to inhale, letting the low back arch away from the floor. So you might notice there's now a space between your lower back and the ground. And then exhale, bringing the low back down. The hips will lift a little bit. So this is kind of like an upside down cat and cow pose. We're just starting to wake up the lower body, a little bit of inhale. Again, the belly lifts and the low back lifts, and then exhale, they both drop. So we're articulating the spine a little bit, but nice and easy. We've just woken up, so we don't want to make this movement too big. Let's do maybe one more like that. And then finding that neutral spine, so between those two positions, and we'll bring knees to chest again. Little rocking, maybe side to side, or adding those circles back in. Bring your feet down to the floor. Now we'll just bring the left knee into the chest, flexing that foot. The right knee can stay bent, or you could extend that leg to get a nice stretch for the hip flexor. And then we'll inhale, lowering that left knee, and exhaling right knee in. So noticing we're moving with the breath. Inhaling to extend, exhaling to draw the opposite knee in. And remembering, if it feels uncomfortable to have that opposite knee or leg extended, we can keep that knee bent. But right now we're focusing on drawing one knee into the chest every time we exhale. And every time we do that, you might feel that low back again pressing into the earth. It's almost like our pelvic tilts that we just did. Exhaling knee in, inhaling to lower. A few times in each direction. Noticing how both sides feel. One might feel a little looser than the other, and that's pretty normal. Or maybe you feel it just more on one side than the other, or maybe into the low back. So we'll do one more time to each side. And then lowering those feet down to the floor. We'll add in a couple of bridge poses. So bringing arms next to the body. Inhaling, we'll lift the hips. So again, nice opening for the front of those hips that get tight from sitting. And then we'll inhale to lower. Actually, exhale to lower. Inhale to lift. Exhaling down. So a few times like this. Arms can stay next to the body, or maybe deciding to add the arms in. We could raise the arms as we lift, and then exhale everything back down to the floor. Inhaling and exhaling. Really making sure to get that breath in there. That's part of our breath potty practice. And it helps to hydrate and nourish the muscles. We're sending oxygen to the muscles. We hold the breath. Maybe we're working a little bit too hard. And especially since we've just woken up, we really want to move with a sense of ease. One more time like this. Exhaling down. Knees to chest one more time. So adding those circles in again, or rocking the knees. And if at any point it doesn't feel good to circle or rock the knees side to side, then just staying still. Always honoring your body. So if there's any discomfort in the spine, staying still. Bring your feet back to the floor. We'll turn onto one side. And we'll use our hands to make our way onto hands and knees. So now we're getting up a little bit more upright. We're in tabletop, placing hands under shoulders, knees under hips. And we're going to do those pelvic tilts now, but in cat and cow. So we're going to inhale, letting the belly drop, looking forward, and exhaling, rounding through the spine. So maybe a bigger articulation for the spine here. Inhaling, looking forward. Exhaling, pushing the floor away from us. Two more times like this. Inhaling, shoulders together or towards each other. Exhaling, shoulders draw apart. One more time. And then exhaling, rounding. So now we're going to add in a little bit of a child's pose. And these can stay as they are. If you'd like to make them a little bit wider, you can do that as well. We're just going to inhale, shifting our hips back. Actually, we'll exhale to shift back here. Finding that length for the spine. And then we're going to inhale forward. First into that tabletop. And exhale back. Inhaling to come forward. And exhaling, sitting back. So we're getting a little bit more movement here. We're waking the body up a little bit more. We'll do one more time like this. Inhaling forward. And exhaling, sitting back. Coming back onto hands and knees, we're going to add in a rotation for the torso. So from our inhale, pushing the floor away from us, we're going to exhale, turning to one side, bringing the hand either to the hip or to the waist, and then inhaling back down. Exhaling, we'll go to the other side. And as we turn from one side to the other, maybe looking up, or you can keep your gaze down towards the floor. Moving with your breath. And that hand can stay on the hips or the waist, or if you'd like, you can inhale, reaching up. But that's only if that feels okay to the shoulder. If not, keeping your hand nice and low, getting that little bit of a twist. We'll do one more time to each side. Now from here, we're going to sit into our child's pose, and either deciding to walk from here to the top of your mat, or we could lift into a downward facing dog. So tucking our toes under, lifting those hips, maybe walking the feet out. Waking up the bottoms of the feet here and getting a nice inversion. Then taking a walk to the top of our mats. Coming into a forward fold, knees are bent. Big inhale, taking a reverse swan dive. Bring hands together at the heart. So now we're standing. So we've done a lot already in just a few moments. And we're going to move through a chair pose, a chair flow, waking up the legs a little bit more. So big breath in, and then exhale, sitting into chair. Exhaling. Sitting only as low as feels good to your body, keeping the spine long. Remembering our goal here is warming up the entire body and keeping the spine long. So not worrying about how low we get. We'll keep the weight of our body towards our heels. And arms are optional. I'm doing some big flowing arms to really move the energy through the body. But if it feels better to keep your hands at prayer or on your thighs, we could do that. Maybe seeing how each of those feels. We've been moving for quite a little bit here, so we'll just keep going until that timer goes off. But we'll bring hands together at the heart, and we can change this a little bit. So we'll spread our feet wide. Toes and knees are going in the same direction, and we'll find a little bit of a squat here, bringing arms up into a 5-pointed star. And we're going to move through moonflowers. Up there's our timer, so we'll exhale, bringing hands together at the heart. I hope you did enjoy this. I'm going to shut the timer off really quickly. I hope you enjoyed our 10 minutes of breath body practice, but you can see how quickly 10 minutes can go. I'm going to create a few extra videos, and if you want to piece them together, feel free to do that. But again, it only takes a few minutes to get the day off to a great start. So thanks so much for joining me. Namaste.